Hello all, it's Ben here at Stafford Station Engage. I've just been busy at this end of the layout the last month, the Wolverhampton Road Bridge and various surrounds. What I'll do is I'll just go through how I made the bridge and the buildings and various weathering jobs as well. In addition, I've been doing some extra detailing work like the trunk cabling, relay cabinets, and tidying up some of the points as well, and painting the blade areas and things. So I'll take you back to my previous self and go through a load of stuff. Just mentioning also that I'm in the May's edition of BRM, my layouts, so just thought I'd mention that. So what I've done is mark up some of the buildings that can be found in the area, which aren't that many. Just going back to the Google Earth, this is the area. So you've got this huge Tesco's, and you've got this Network Rail depot area here. So the main buildings are these, and then you've got this old LMS shed, ex-LMS shed here as well. In addition, you've got this bridge here, which is the Wolverhampton Road Bridge, which I want to construct. So yeah, I've just marked up the general areas just with paper, just where they're going to be. So that's the Tesco's, that's one of the Network Rail sheds. What it does, it just gives me an idea how they relate to each other in this space. For instance, the shed over there will have there are going to be two rails going from here, which is the disused wooden sleepers going past it. So it gives me an idea how much you can fit in, because on the prototype you're looking at a lot wider, probably about 4 rails, but because of the limitations of space, I mean, I could squeeze that in a bit, but this is actually the dimensions of the actual shed, so I might keep it that wide, because I quite like this building as a structure. Realistically, if it's an engine shed, it probably would have had 4 lanes here in total. So yeah, so that means that this tells me that there can only be 2 lanes of rails here. So, but principally what I want to do at the moment is construct the Wolverhampton Road Bridge. So in order to do that, I've also had to map out the bit of the base of the bridge here. So the building there, and there's factories here, there's some kind of showroom there, and there's the street here, which I have mapped as well. So principally I'm going to be constructing the bridge itself, and also be building up this, because looking at Google Earth, this is actually built up. So in the next segment I'll just show you some sort of side elevation drawings and what I've done there. Also to note is the fact that I think I said on the previous video where I wanted these separating, because you've got the West WCML separating between 2 different routes, which join again at Rugby. So what I've done is just map the track there where it's got the separation, and you've got this central bridge support here. So it's quite a complex shape in a way, because it's a rhomboid, plus you've got this width wide here. So basically I found out that the back of it is actually longer than the front, so it actually stretches slightly in terms of proportions. Right, so next I'll just get on with constructing that. So from the top elevation, I've also created some side elevations just based off Google Maps. So this is the bridge looking over towards the north end. So yeah, you can see from here it has got this kind of hump and then a straight top like that. So I've just done some side elevation drawings there. So that's the front view. So you've got this, this is where it divides like that. And then this is the back view. So looking into the layout there, just give you a shot of that. So as you can see, it's kind of got relatively flat top, and then it's got this hump here of the road going down, which I'm going to have to create little ribs here so I can then support them on the base here, sort of a flat base. Yeah, and then it goes past a couple of factories, and then it's got this building here, which is, I think it's listed at the moment. So that's actually that building over there in the bottom. So from that, I've just cut some plasticard for the moment. So just gives you an idea of how rhomboid it is, and also the fact that the back end here actually widens because of the widening of the tracks there. So I've done some more work on creating the hump back bridge effect here, which is this hump here. So got the base there, and then I've kind of got 1mm top there, and then sort of trying to create that sort of curved top there. So to do that, I've created a sort of a carcass rib structure here. So I've done the legs of the bridge as well. So basically the main carcass is finished. Just show you that angle there. So I've got the hump there. You can see there's a sort of hump. Just fitting it, just doing a fitting, so I've had to cut away some of the cork there. So next stage to do is to build out this buttressing here, which comes out a bit there on these. So I've done some more work with the buttressing, so quickly give you a view of that, which is the on the plan, and also from information I've gathered from the internet is these angles here. So it's quite tricky because I've got to layer a bit with different bits of plastic card. So it's like I don't know, 0.3mm, 1mm. Obviously, a carcass is the 1.5mm. So although it looks done a bit tidy now, it will be covered with bricks, so it doesn't really matter. It's still just a carcass type covering. So next stage is to sort of glue on the concrete lintel which sticks out here, and then there's like a sort of brick line here, which will be like a 1mm piece sticking out as well. So get on with that. Right, so I've fixed the concrete lintels on here, and also the brick kind of extra detail here. I've also extended the back, so this is how far back it goes here, and then here I've extended it this way as well. Also, obviously, you've got the hump as well to factor in, as it's obviously sloping down each side. So yeah, it was quite a complicated shape. You've got this chevron, plus you've got this angling wide like that. So quite a complicated geometry. So as well as the bridge, I'm doing some more work on this area here where it feeds into. Just based off this side elevation, plan to basically raise this up by 18mm via to 9mm ply, and also this factory area here. So that'll, this particular factory will be a bit higher here. The reason I'm doing that is I noticed when I on the train going past Stafford South section, this area here was quite raised up. You can see that it is actually quite a high retaining wall. So this section is not considerably higher, but higher. So yeah, so I've just done trying to get this work to get this slope in here. As you can see, you just do a couple of bits of plastic yard just to get this slope right. Yeah, then from this angle, it's got that slight bend in the road here as well. Got the brick facing on, so I'll just quickly show you that now. So yeah, got these angles bricked up as well. Not an easy job because of the butting up to each other as well. So and also this shoulder bridge piece here, which holds up the embankment now, which is going to go there. In addition, I've got this curve in by putting a template on here, a paper template, and then just cutting the shape out of the brick sheet and then putting this on top. I'll show you the other side. Yeah, so let's go on to the painting stage now. So I've just done a basic paint job on the roads, and I'm just marking the central grid section here with central reservation. So here you've got this kind of sort of tapering central reservation, which I'm trying to capture. Right, just taped up my chevrons, quite a lot, and second one. So I kind of made a little 45-degree tool to just basically mark each line, and I've done about 18mm between, which according to Google Earth is about roughly half a car length each. So yeah, so I'll just get on with painting those up now. Right, so bridge mostly complete and painted up. Just give you a view of that. So what I've done is I've used Vallejo greys just to spray this up to try and get the road worn effect there. So still stuff to do. I've ordered some railings from N-Brass, and some traffic island posts will go here as well. Yeah, so the next thing to do is to do this couple of buildings here and this wall as well. Right, so I'm starting to move on to a couple of buildings which are next to Wolverhampton Road Bridge, and I've done a side elevation drawing of this car park centre and the factory building behind, which I will be doing. So I'll be doing this section and this bit. So the bit I'm referring to on Google Maps is this here, so that's next to the bridge there. So what I've done is I've done this side elevation, and also for the building behind I've done this front and back elevation here. So from that I've created a carcass basically for this building and the one behind. So if we go back to the front elevation, these form the fronts next to the road of that. So you've got the hill, so that's got the hillside there coming down from the bridge. So I put the textured plastic add-on, the corrugated texture, the roof tiles and the brick on, and also on the supporting building as well. Yeah, so I certainly had a few issues because I miscalculated the angle of this. So yeah, I had to do quite a bit of retouching and sanding. So I'm quite happy with the roof. Yeah, some glazing in there as well. So the next stage is to just get it painted up. So I've started some weathering on the front of the warehouse building. So I basically used Vallejo greys as the base coat, and then I've used this humble wash, which I've just used a brush just to lightly go over. So the next effect I want to do is this panel effect here, which is a sort of you could say like new sheets have been panelled on, so I want to actually mask off and get some panel effects on next. So I've masked that area that I said I would, and then I've just gone over with the wash again, and then I've also just airbrushed again with the acrylics just to give it a final finish. I mean, I think the trick with this job is just to know when to stop, because you know, you can sort of go on indefinitely just trying to get the perfect effect, but I think I'm going to say that's enough now. So I think I've got what I wanted, and it's close to that which was the kind of effect I wanted. So yeah, so I'll just get on with the roof now. So I'm just on with the roof, and I've done like a base coat of Vallejo, different sprays, mixes. So basically a grey, a light grey, and a mix with a kind of an umber with a light grey to get this dirt effect here. And then I've just gone over with the wash and just gone over and then used my thumb just to blend it in a bit, just to break it up a bit and get the kind of drained dirt effect as well on the roof. So it is a bit kind of made up as you make it up as you go along, sort of process in a way. Just trying to get the effect really. So I've completed the glazing for the factory unit there. So I've used the method of using clear plastic and then basically scoring every 5mm. And then after I've scored to make the bars, I have used white paint just to go into each one, and then after that then just wiped the excess off with a little bit of thinner. Don't use too much thinner, otherwise you'll end up wiping the paint in the score as well. So I'll just give you a view of that. So as you can see, I've started work on the car park centre here. So this is the car park centre. So I've had to actually compress this quite a bit for space purposes. So mine is compressed. The main issue though is getting this incline right. So I've had to actually do quite a lot of sort of filing with the road to get the angle right. Plus the angle with the factory behind, which is flush to. So yeah, quite a lot of filling around. So yeah, I'll get on with the next stage of that next, and get some glazing and painting done. So I've done some more work for the building. So got the glazing in. Same method I used for the warehouse. Basically did a score with the Stanley knife and then painted in, and then wiped it. When it's dry, just wiped it clean. So yeah, there's that. And a brick sheeting for the rest of it. And then for the supporting building as well, which should go like that. So yeah, so I've got to raise the floor next, so it's at this level, and that's a bit higher. And then obviously paint it and do the roof. So get on with that. So got the car parts centre done mostly. Got the signs printed off. So to give you a view of that, I thought I'd show you in situ sort of thing, how it sits. So that's the side of it as well, next to the bridge. So yeah, not an easy job actually, a lot harder than I thought. Just getting the glazing done and stuff like that. A bit fiddly, well it's engorged isn't it? It's always damn fiddly, so anyway, I'm quite pleased with it. So yeah, just give you a view of that. I've also had a go at trying to weather the roof as well. So I'm just doing some work to paint up the disused track area here. So basically it's all bullhead track with wooden sleepers. So what I'm trying to do is spray paint the kind of faded wood look, sun bleach look. So I've got Humble Matte 29 and 147 which I've mixed together. Yeah, so got those on. Just as a side note, I'm using a Iwata Eclipse which I found really good actually. Just bought it, 150 quid on Amazon. Definitely recommend it. So the next thing I want to do is to start on the scenic part. So I've already sort of mod rocked the embankment here on the right, and I will be doing some scenic bushes and things here as well to build up this. So before that, I've sprayed up the cable trunking to lay that first. So I've got the standard ratio kit there, and I've also got these plastic card strips I brought, which are the 2 by 2.5mm evergreen ones, basically, so they match the width of these. And I've also scored the 6mm paving on them as well. So yeah, so the next thing I want to do is lay cable trunking as far as I can this way, probably 2 rows, one here and one there. Yeah, go on with that next. So I've laid most of the cabling, but not all. So just show you what I've done so far. I mean, the next bit of cabling I'll do on another session. So I've tried to follow the Google Maps. So you've got this quite windy cable at the bottom, the middle one, this one, and the top one now. I've also tried to do kinks in it as well, because a lot of the top casings will, you know, get removed and sort of put back on, so it's always not completely straight. So yeah, let's give you a view of that. Let's go down. So I've got to put the relay cabinets in here sometime as well, but there's quite a lot of relay cabinets, so yeah, I'll just put them in over time. So for this one, for instance, I haven't put the T-junctions in, so what I'll do is I'll just cut a little chunk out of this, put the T-junctions in, and then a little plastic card piece there, and put the cabinets on top of that. Give you a view of it there. So I'm ready to do some scenery work now on this area and this one. So the idea is, like the prototype, to do sort of meadow grass mostly. So yeah, I've just done a undercoat in a kind of light burnt umber colour. Masked my relay cabinet bases. So I've got this one, and this one at the moment. I've got some of the underbrush from Woodland Scenics, and this one as well, bushes, Woodland Scenics. So yeah, static grass, so my aim is to do a standard static grass there, and maybe more of a meadow effect here. Right, scene mostly done. Just give you a view. I've got the static grass done. So just give you a sweep of that. I've also done some additional work here where you got the disused line. So I've used some dead grass as well mixed in. That's the effect I kind of wanted, a meadow effect. But it was a bit fraught because the static grass applicator, the battery was kind of almost half empty, so to speak, and it wasn't applying correctly, so then I had to kind of sort of scrub a lot off, and then to restart. You've got to make sure with the battery you're using it's fully, you know, it's a new one or fully charged, otherwise you don't get the full static effect. But the second application, I think it's okay. I think I've got the I've got it all right, and I'm quite pleased with the meadow actually over there. I think it's looking okay. This stuff is underneath. This stuff is rubberised horsehair, and then just Woodland Scenics turf stuck on top. So yeah, let's give you a view over of that, and from the side as well. Yeah, fairly pleased. Obviously a lot more to do in this area, but I made a start. Right, so thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please like, and if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. What I'll do now is just leave you with a few running shots. Cheers.